All right, once again, great day, family. We're here with a Voice of Consciousness network. I am a Voice of Consciousness. This show is Conversations with, and today we're going to have a conversation with Celicia Shand. She is an up-and-coming, if not a seasoned, professional entrepreneur that is really blazing some fantastic trails here in the Chicagoland area. Oh yeah, we're on location in Chicago, by the way, out of Florida, but here in location in Chicago. And so, without further ado, let me turn to Celicia Shand. How are you this afternoon?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, I'm just really excited to have you on my, this is my first foray of a podcast. I'm usually behind the scenes doing stuff, not wanting to be seen, putting other people out front. Mm-hmm. But now in this day and time, on this age, as you know, everything is video, and the audio is video. Everything is video now, so you got to get in front of the camera and let people see and feel and get to all of what's going on. So having said that, give our audience a little bit of background on who Celicia Shand is.
Okay.
And, please.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, as he said, my name is Celicia. I am a certified professional life coach currently, but I wasn't always a life coach. I was an audit analyst. I was the person who did what they were told to do, go to college and get the degree and get the good corporate job and start the family and settle down. And when I did that, during my time, I ran into some things that just took me off path, but actually put me on the right path. And what that was at the time, I wasn't happy in my job. It just wasn't fulfilling for me. It didn't seem like something that I came here to do because I wasn't giving back to anyone. I wasn't being a service to anyone. I was sitting behind a computer desk, crunching numbers all day, looking at spreadsheets. And I'm like, okay, so I came to life for this. And it just wasn't fulfilling for me. And then at the same time, I was in a relationship with a man who was secretly gay, and I didn't know. And then I had another friend who we started a business together. It was a PR company, and she was the same age as I was. We kind of had the same type of drive, the same work ethic, where we just work, and people please. And she got diagnosed with stomach cancer. And so those 3 events took me to a place where I had to say, okay, this is not where I want my life to be. Who am I and what do I need to do? And so it kind of put me in a hole where I was in a dark place. But what I noticed looking back is when you're in those dark places, that's when you can really see the light that you have within you. And so I went and I just started learning about myself, and I decided to stop pleasing people, and I asked myself one question: what would your life look like if all the love that you gave to please everyone else you started to give to yourself? And so every single day I tried to find new ways to love myself, and that made me turn into not eating certain things that I eat, not putting relaxers in my hair, to not wearing weave, to not doing all of the things, not listening to certain music, not watching TV.
Self-discovery.
Man. And then on that path, I started to become the woman who I was always designed to be. And I know that because it feels good. It's resonating with my spirit. I feel like I'm on the right path. And it started to put me in a place where a lot of people was gravitating towards me, and I was learning and I was reading, and I was just kind of reprogramming myself and learning new things about life, myself, and what it means to truly be here. I just started asking a bunch of questions too. I didn't have the answers to
questions of yourself or
question of myself, question about life, question about religion, I was just questioning everything. I didn't have the answer, but they said if you put the intention out there, the answers will find you.
Absolutely.
And so when the answers was finding me, I was in a place like, oh my God, I felt like everything that I was taught was a lie. And so I started to teach myself what I wanted to believe was my truth that resonated with me. And it put me to this place that I'm at right now.
Okay. And where is that?
So the place that I am right now is I'm just constantly rediscovering my purpose.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of times we look at our purpose as a destination. Like, okay, when I get there, I'm going to get to my purpose and then everything is going to be great. But your purpose is forever unfolding, just like you should forever be growing. And that's kind of how I came up with my company, Continued Expansion, because I realized that you should never get to a point in life where you're not growing anymore. Mm-hmm. You should never get to a point in life where you're not learning, where you're not stretching yourself and expanding yourself. And it brought me to look towards nature, because when we look at nature, every time when they say recharge or, get some positivity in your system, they always say go to nature, right? Mm-hmm. And so you wonder, okay, why nature? So I researched that, and the plants and the trees, they give off oxygen, which is a negative ion. Mm-hmm. And negative ion makes the air positive. And so when I think about if they're vibrating in a positive state, then they must be doing something right. Mm-hmm. That's how I was looking at it. So when I look at nature, I look at nature as my guidance system, because I feel as though everything that was put in nature by its design is doing exactly what it's supposed to do by its design. And so when I think about myself, and everything in nature is growing. So I think about myself and I think, okay, if I'm in a place where I'm stagnant and I'm not growing and everything is just on this regular, routine day in, day out, I'm doing this, doing that, and I'm not really expanding myself, mm-hmm. then I need to find ways to shift that.
Absolutely. So I'm hearing balance, because mm-hmm. all of the negative and positive, people think, oh, well, you got to be negative, or he's so negative or so positive, but it's really about balance, because you need mm-hmm. it all.
You need it all.
So basically what you're saying is you found your niche in terms of self-awareness to be centered and balanced within you, mm-hmm. which has brought about this transformative and expansive self that's forever unfolding, which is what we all should aspire to do. Mm-hmm. So now tell us some about your company. I want to know more about your company, the name and where they can find it, as well as what is it that you're actually doing?
Okay, so I'm an energy coach. I'm also an energy leadership master practitioner, which is it's just a fancy way of saying, like, I can read energy based off of the words that you're saying. Mm-hmm. I have some training behind it, and then there's also an assessment that you can take that it's an attitudinal assessment. So based on how you respond, it's going to tell you how you normally are residing energetically. Okay. And then once we have those results, I go in and I'm able to see what triggers you into stress and how we can block that, how we can remove those blocks so that you can live in higher energy levels, so that you can attract a more abundant life. Because I believe that you are the source of everything that you have in your life, and so it all starts with you. So a lot of times we want to shift things outside of us thinking it's going to make everything better, but it's kind of like taking a tree and just breaking off the branches, but the roots are still in there. Mm-hmm. So it's like you are the root of your life, so let's work with you first.
Absolutely.
So as a coach, I do things like on my social media platform, continue_expansion. Okay. I do morning motivation, I do affirmations, and that's just the surface stuff, because that's not the real work, but you can sit on the surface with that. If those resonate with you and pick you up for the day, that's great. But then working with me one-on-one as a coach, that's when we go a little bit deeper into you. Mm-hmm. And I stretch you, I hold you accountable, and we have goals that you set, and I help you get towards those goals, mm-hmm. whether it's like personal growth goals, healing goals, things like that.
I see. Excellent. And how long have you been doing that?
So I've been coaching for a year now. Okay. And I'm still learning as a new coach. I feel like I'm a new coach, but I have a different spin because of my spiritual background. Mm-hmm. And this is just like a new journey for me. So it's really exciting, and it's really, I take it really seriously, because it's like a newborn baby to me right now. My company's a newborn baby. Me stepping out into this world, I feel like I'm a freshman again, mm-hmm. but I'm living in my purpose. So it's like I know that everything that I'm doing is in alignment with what I need to do. So it feels good. Absolutely. Yeah.
So the inspiration that you get mm-hmm. is also transformative for the person as well as for yourself. In other words, mm-hmm. like the teacher is teaching, but they also learn from the students, because the students will say things that mm-hmm. they ultimately, and the light bulb comes on. Mm-hmm. So are you that type of, is that happening as well for you when you have the experiences with the people, your people?
Absolutely. I believe that, and it's also a principle in our school too, the coaching school that I went to, IPAC. every person that you meet, you're a teacher and a student. And if you approach people with that mindset, it allows you to receive and to give. So the energy between you two are flowing. And you're not blocking yourself off by judging. It also removes judgment, because sometimes we might someone might look at me and say, oh, she's young. How can she be a life coach? She hasn't experienced life yet. And if you have that type of mentality, then it's blocking you off from the gifts that I have to offer to you. And vice versa, I might look at a child and say, oh, this is a baby. They have nothing to teach me. And then I miss out on the whole lesson on patience, or on the whole lesson on connecting back to your inner child. So it's just being able to know that our whole purpose in life is to share information. As we get, we give. And just keep that reciprocated, so that you can also continue to get more and be able to give more.
Excellent. So now you have a show also on CAN TV. What's that show? What's the name of it? What is it about?
Yeah, it's also called Continued Expansion, and we just shot the first episode last Thursday, and so I'm not sure when they're going to air it yet, but if you want to keep up with that, you can follow me on my Instagram page, which is continued_expansion. And there you can keep up with my whole journey on this talk show. It's something new for me also. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
And the whole purpose of the show is, how we have a lot of people that complain about their jobs and their lives. And, oh, I hate waking up to this and I'm tired of doing that. Like, I don't want to hear that anymore. Like, we want to hear the people who are actually out here making a difference, working and doing jobs that inspires them and inspires other people, and that's in alignment with their purpose, and they feel good about it. I feel like when we shine light on that, then we'll get more of that. And then we can inspire others to see, like, this is possible. It's a choice. We always have a choice. You can choose to get up and do something that you hate and waste your life and wait until the end. Or you can choose to do something that inspires you and make you want to wake up every morning and give back.
Absolutely.
And then the second portion of the show is a lecture. And I'm just going to be talking to the audience, just giving some knowledge or whatever the topic is. Just going a little bit deeper into that to just bridge their understanding.
Oh, okay. So it's self-awareness 24/7. You really have to do the things that bring about an awareness level within yourself, which transforms the life around you, because you're the one that's projecting from the inside out. People don't understand that we project all of the experiences that we experience outside of us. We're actually projecting it from within. So if you're talking about you don't like your job, or you got issues and you're always angry, those are the things that you're magnetizing and attracting to your life.
Absolutely.
Which is why, something always happened to me, or something always happened to so-and-so and so-and-so. How is so-and-so and so-and-so thinking?
Right.
What are they doing? So talk to us more about the conscious awareness aspect of being the intention for what you're doing, or what life is about. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all about taking responsibility. And the thing is, we'll say that, but then when it's something that's not working out in our favor,
or that we don't like,
we don't want to take responsibility for it. So it's like you have to take responsibility for every single thing that happens in your life, whether you feel like you're the victim or whether you feel like you caused it. Everything is about taking responsibility. And taking responsibility can just be like, okay, this person slapped me. How did I attract this experience into my life? Instead of saying, why did this person do this? How I look at it, anytime you put your energy into something outside of yourself, you're diminishing your power.
Okay.
So you take back your power by taking responsibility for everything that's happening to you and giving yourself that choice to decide on, if you don't like it, what is it inside of me that I need to shift? Or what is this saying about me? And a lot of times when you were saying about balance, right, we have two sides to us. We have the yin, the yang, the light, the dark, the good, the bad, however you want to put it. But it's about understanding that they both play a part in making you who you are. And so you don't want to just accept the good and leave out the bad. You got to accept that too. And sometimes when things happen to us, it's poking at either side, and it's telling us something about ourselves. But we have to take the responsibility to see what it is. And because it happened, we need it. And so just understanding that everything that we go through is something that we also need to expand us, instead of thinking about it in a way where it's going to break you. That will also change how you approach life and how you can expand your awareness in your spiritual journey.
Yeah, and that's a powerful point you just made, in that every experience really is to expand you, really is to, but it depends on how you think about it.
Exactly.
But it's really there for you to go to the next level or do the next thing that you wanted to do or be bigger or better than you were. And it's always about self-improvement. It's always about being the best that you can be. So now, give us some, you told us some things that were pivotal in terms of getting you to where you are now. And so I must say that where you are, it has nothing to do with age. That's first and foremost. We must be clear that age has nothing to do with the level of wisdom that can be attained when you seek to go inward and create that camaraderie and have that passion to focus on expanding your life and working with the powers that you have. So age has nothing to do. It's ageless. We can't measure those types of facilitative powers and growth. So help us understand how you have, because at some point you've had to extract yourself out of the matrix or the system of things, the way we've been taught, trained, programmed to do. Give us some details, because you touched on it, but give us something specifically particular that you might practice or that you might do, or things that might be, things that you might do to help maintain this focus that you have.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I try to do, I know consistency is very hard. Now, for me, I'm human, and then just like in general. But the things that I really try to do, and consistency is not found anywhere in nature too. It's kind of like a program that we have to have.
Okay.
You know, so that's why I feel as though it's a little bit more difficult than another like intrinsic skill that we might have based on our natural, makeup. But I try to take advantage of my mornings. And set the tone from the beginning. From the time I wake up out of bed, I try to own my day. And so a lot of the things that I do is I run every morning, or do some type of physical activity, and I meditate. I try to meditate in the summertime in Chicago. I try to meditate outside as much as possible, but in the wintertime it'll be indoors.
What type of meditation, by the way, excuse me for interrupting, but is there a particular, because there's different types of relaxation.
There are different types of meditation.
Transcendental, what kind of specifically?
I've done Zazen meditation, which is you just sit. You just sit and your eyes are open and you just stare at the wall. That's when I'm trying to build discipline in my meditation. But when I meditate personally, honestly, I just go with whatever I'm feeling. It might be to calm down and to just be in the present moment. So I do a little bit of mindfulness where I'm just trying to think about relaxing myself from head to toe, and just sitting with that. I might do meditation where I just feel like I want to focus on being grateful. So I'll just focus on all of the things that I'm grateful for and just continue to be grateful and just build on that and just let it flow from me. Or sometimes I might ask a question before my meditation, something that I'm seeking, and I just sit with that. And just wait for that to come to me. And so it depends. I really just kind of go with what my spirit is telling me to do and just allow that to guide me. I know I want to get deeper into understanding the different types of meditation, but for right now, I really just focus on being in the present, being grateful, and then if I'm doing visualizations, then I'll meditate and just visualize how it will feel to get what I want, and really trying to dig into why it is that I want what I want to. Yeah, because a lot of times we want things, but we don't even know why we want it.
Yeah, where did that come from? That kind of thing.
And a lot of times it's a lack of a feeling that we're not currently getting. And so we got to really be aware of
that we may have been used to getting or was feel
so
because those send signals as well. Interesting. You said something critical that I want to pull out of there, and that is the consistency piece. While nature is consistent, it's not necessarily maybe it's repetitive, but not necessarily consistent. In that these things there's a cycle for things, but they're not always exactly the same way. But yet, it's an immeasurable growth that when it comes back around to the cycle, there may be a different look, a different feel, a different something, but it's still moving, it's still expanding, it's still doing what nature does, and that's constantly moving. So that's really critical, and I want to bring that out because a lot of times we think we have to do things specifically a certain way, like religion. Right. You know, you get programmed. It's a programming. Whereas when you're natural, as you say, you flow. Yeah. You know, like the tides, like the waves, like the water. You just kind of lay there and let it move you whichever way it moves you, and trusting on that. So that's powerful. That's very powerful. I also want to make sure that you get your information out where the website is. I want to make sure you do that. Okay. You know, so put your information out there, what you're doing. Now, also, the show that you just did, it had a date. Give that date, because we're not sure when this is actually going to air, what network is going to be when or whatever. So give a date so that people will know it might happen, it's going to happen, or when look for it, hit you up or whatever.
Yeah, well, okay, so my website is www.continuedexpansion4life.com. And that's continuedexpansion4life.com. And so yeah, like I said, we recorded last Thursday, but my producer haven't gotten back to me with when it will air. So if you want to keep up with my journey and everything, you can follow me on Instagram at continued_expansion.
Okay, but last Thursday was the
first episode was recorded.
Was the first episode, but that was the 16th of August, 2018. So I just want to put the date out there. Okay. The 16th of August is when it actually aired. So they'll get some kind of frame or reference in terms of time and everything. Okay. Very interesting. You're very, very, very enlightening. You're very thank you. You definitely have a lot of light. And like I said again, the age is not the issue. What has to be most paramount is you're being guided and you're confident and secure and trust in what's guiding you. And there's a synergy that comes from that or comes with that. Yeah. And you're operating in that synergistic flow, and it shows, is what you're basically saying, that it shows in so many ways, when before maybe it was haphazard or you wasn't really in tune or in touch. Speak to us just a bit about how to police the words, the thoughts, because everything has vibration. Everything. So we want to really share or make it important to be aware of the fact that the things we say or the things we're thinking, if we allow those thoughts to go, if we allow those thoughts to go on their own, they'll grow. They'll get roots. Then they become hard to get out. So speak to us on those kind of matters. Okay. Yeah, and so like with the assessment that I'm doing, that when I go through the different energy levels, this one you kind of learn about, like, okay, if you're in victim mode thinking, that's level 1 energy. Okay. And no energy level is good or bad. They just are. You know, they help you to understand, right? And if you want to defend yourself, that's level 2. If you want to seek opportunities, that's level 3. Okay. So once I take you through the energy levels 1 through 7, then we take them and we apply them to your life. So where's level 1 energy showing up? Where's level 2 energy showing up? And so once you have this awareness, then it's easy for you to go through your life and see how you're reacting, and it brings more awareness towards what your current habit is, and then it allows you to see if that's where you want to be. At every moment, we have the choice to decide if this is where we want to be, and if we don't accept it or if we don't like it, we have the choice of seeing if that's where we want to be, and choosing if that's where we want to stay. So it just brings more awareness and gives you that responsibility. The power is what I'm saying. It gives you the power to make a choice to change how you want to move forward. And so how I look at it is every thought that you have is like a game of hangman.
And so everything that you say is continuously building the head, the shoulders, the arms, the legs, because that's the energy that you're putting out there. And how energy comes through you is when it comes from you, it's coming from thought to solid, so to matter. And so how it solidifies is based on the amount of energy that you put into it. When energy collects in the reason why we're here, why this is hard matter, is because of the amount of energy that has collected to make that. Because when you break it down, it's still energy. It's all atoms. So if you have negative thoughts, and they're going to collect. The more you have, they're going to collect. And then once they collect and solidify, they manifest into reality. And so being more aware of your thoughts, you can be more aware of the negative things that you're saying or the positive things that you're saying, and it puts you in more control. So it's really about conquering your mind.
Powerful. And that's absolutely what I understand. There are things that I may think. Also, all thoughts are not ours. Things are projected, things are out here, and we are like sponges. We absorb information. It's not always our stuff that we're absorbing. So what I have done and what I do more of a lot is I police my own thoughts, my mind. So some of the words that come in or some of the things that I'm thinking, I shut them down right away. No, that's not going to happen. No, that's not. No, we ain't doing that.
Yep.
You know, that's what I do on a regular. I'm talking about like the police. You know?
That's good. Something similar to that is when I used to be really judgmental, and I didn't notice it until I started to become more aware, like, oh, girl, you're really judgmental. So what I do to cancel it out, every time I think of a negative thought about someone or something, I try to think of a positive one. So if you find yourself in a habit, it's really hard to just say, okay, I'm aware of this habit and I'm going to change the next day.
Right.
It's going to take time.
Right. So
you got to just work on ways to shift it and replace it. So now when I look at people, I instantly try to find things that I like about them. And then when you're putting out that energy, it's going to come back to you. So that's how you raise your vibration.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Perfect. Well, that's a wonderful way to end this one. I'm going to tell you, that was great. It's super fantastic. So listen, this is another episode of a Voice of Consciousness Network, and we're here speaking a Voice of Consciousness speaks with, conversations with, I should say, Celicia Shand. And is there anything you want to share before we go? Alicia, anything at all that you'd like to end with?
Just trust yourself and continue to develop a relationship with yourself and try to find new things about yourself to love every single day. You are here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. And if you continue to believe that and tap into that, you'll definitely be on your journey.
Excellent. So another episode's wrapped up. What I also want to share just before we go is the fact that we no longer believe, but at some point we know. So when we're able to transform what we believe into knowing, that's when we definitely are more secure and more in line or in tune with our truth, and that truth resonates throughout. So with that, we're going to say, great day, everyone. It's always a great day, and love, peace,
and light.
and light. Absolutely, love, peace, and light. All right.